Tell me if this sounds true to you. Money is the root of all evil, and rich people are kind of the bad guys. If that sounds true to you, then if you want to become the best version of yourself and you want to improve yourself as a person, getting more money and building wealth almost can't be part of the picture. After all, you don't want to turn into one of the bad guys, right? If you have these kinds of conflicted feelings about money, I totally get it, because that's where I come from as well. I've always felt that caring about money and wanting to make a lot of money is somehow, there's something wrong about that. Materialism is bad and consumerism is bad, and there's just too many things like this that make it feel like money is bad somehow, money is dirty somehow. That made it difficult for me to basically say, yes, I want to build wealth, I want to be rich. That was a challenge for me for a long time. But I have changed my mind about this in recent years, and now I can say that yes, indeed, I care about making lots of money, and I think you should too.
I like to make money.
I'm talking about this.
Right now you're watching an Icario video, and Icario is all about personal development. This is not a personal finance brand. So why am I talking about building wealth and making money? Well, this gets at exactly the reason why I changed my mind about money and why I think you should too. I still think that money is not the solution to all problems, and certainly materialism and consumerism aren't. My goal is not to make lots of money so that I can buy expensive things and, flex on other people. And my goal is not to somehow try to achieve happiness or peace in my life by buying more things or having more things. So in that sense, my attitude towards money has not changed. In fact, I don't value money by itself. The thing that I value is freedom. And freedom is the thing that I value above everything else. And this is where money comes in, because it just so happens that loads and loads of forms of freedom are downstream of financial freedom.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
I'm not here to tell you that you have to have lots of money in order to be happy or live a good life or be healthy or do any of the other things that are important in life. And I'm also not here to tell you that you have to have money in order to experience freedom. But if you have a lack of money, if money is always a concern, if it's always something that you're short of, then that takes away a lot of the freedoms you experience in life. It undermines a lot of your freedoms. To illustrate this, here's a good question to think about or even write about. Imagine that you wake up tomorrow morning and you find that you have $1 billion in your bank account, and it's no strings attached. It wasn't a mistake, just for some reason you have $1 billion now, and it's all yours to do with whatever you want. What would you do on that day? What would you do the following week? What would you do in the following months and years? With $1 billion, you have functionally unlimited money, right? It's almost impossible to spend that much money in a lifetime. So given that, what would you do? And what would you do differently from how you spend your days and weeks and months right now? When you think about this, some of your answers about the difference between how you're spending your time right now and how you would spend your time if you had virtually unlimited money show the way in which a lack of money restricts your freedoms. How much of your time are you spending doing things that you wouldn't do if it weren't for money? How much would your priorities change if you didn't have lots and lots of obligations and lots of things you have to do because you have to make money in order to pay the bills and so on and so forth? And this is what I mean when I say that lack of money restricts your personal freedom. I also think that the worse this problem is, the more tragic it is, because you can spend your lifetime investing so much of your time doing things that are not the best use of your time, doing things that you're not excited about, doing things that don't bring out the best in you. And that's a loss for you. It's a tragedy to spend thousands of hours of your life working a job you don't like, for example. But I think it's also a loss for everyone else. It is a tragedy to have lots and lots of people spend their time doing things that they're not that good at, that they're not excited about, when maybe these people could contribute something much more important to the world. And this is why I somewhat reluctantly have to admit that financial freedom and learning how to build wealth and learning how to deal with money is a really important component in the project of living a better life, in the greater project of personal development, of helping people grow and empowering people. Financial freedom and financial literacy has to be one of those chapters. If you're interested in becoming the best version of yourself and living a better life, then wealth has to be part of that equation. And it's about learning how to manage your finances and leveling up your power to generate income and then be able to do the right things with that money that you earn. That you not get to the point, again, the point is not to just have lots of money and hoard it or to buy a mansion or whatever. But the wealth building goal that I think serves most of us best is to get to the point where you have enough money that you never have to have money worries. And that's not just having an amount of money, that's having enough financial literacy, enough power to make the right decisions with money as well. If you can get to the point where you just never have to worry about money again, how much more can you achieve with the rest of your life? That might sound like a lofty goal, but I think it's much more achievable than most people think. It's just that somehow, even if you've gone through a decade or more of schooling, you've probably never been taught even the most basics of wealth building and personal finance. Now, to make a point of this, I have created a class that is 100% free, where I teach everything that I have learned about wealth building in my more than 15-year journey as an entrepreneur and in the journey of basically going from scratch and building up personal wealth myself. This really is a completely free course. I'll link to it below. You don't even have to sign up with your email or anything. And if you're wondering what's the catch, well, I understand your skepticism, but this really is completely free. And you can go and have a look at it to convince yourself that it's not rubbish, it doesn't suck, and it doesn't lead to something else, right? I'm not trying to get anything out of you. If anything, the catch is that I hope you get rich and then at some point in the future, I can sell you something really expensive. To me, that would be a great outcome, you know? At some point in the future, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to do an Icario retreat for $10,000 and you'll be able to give me $10,000 because you made so much money in the meantime. But it is a long-term plan, of course, because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme or anything like that. This is just all the stuff that I wish someone had told me a long, long time ago about how to build wealth and how to manage your own finances in the strategically most advantageous ways possible. This is all stuff that I had to learn the hard way, both through experience and through reading dozens and dozens of books. And I'm giving this away for free because, well, I'm still basically reluctant. Look, I don't want to sell people this kind of stuff. I'm interested much more in everything else about personal development. And this is just one of the things we have to get out of the way. That's what this class is for. This is just everything you need to know completely for free. Let's get this out of the way and let's talk about the other aspects of personal development that I'm much more excited about. So check out the link below, take a look at the completely free class that might just change your financial destiny forever. And also think about that question of what would you do and how would your life look differently if you suddenly woke up with $1 billion in your bank account? And let me know what your answer is. What are some things that you would stop doing immediately? What are some things that you would start doing? What would you do differently? Let me know what comes to mind by leaving a comment below.